A very good afternoon and welcome to NTV News. I'm Siksha Sharma. Let's take a look into the headlines first. Locals of Sistol and Bonsare Dara halt garbage collection of Kathmandu Valley. Dozens of garbage-laden trucks stranded along Nuwakot-Thading border. Provision of mandatory labelling of ready-made imported goods effective from today. Rule aims to curb the sales of counterfeit items. Swords of Asia, Europe and the United States reel on a heat wave. Tens of millions battling dangerously high temperatures. And Nepal taking on India A in its second match of the ACC Emerging Teams Asia Cup on the way in Sri Lanka. Welcome back to NTV News. We take a look into news in detail now. Locals of Sistol and Bonsare Dara of the landfill site of Nuwakot district have halted collection of garbage of Kathmandu Valley. The locals have prevented the trucks and trippers from transporting garbage collected from Kathmandu, Bhaktapur and Lalitpur to the landfill site in Sistol and Bonsare Dara. Following this, dozens of garbage-laden trucks remain stranded along the border of Thading and Nuwakot district. Information officer of Kokani Rural Municipality Sunil Acharya had said the local residents halted trucks from entering the district after they faced difficulties of health concern owing to the garbage disposal there. He further said the locals resorted to obstruction of the disposal since the previous demands were left unnoticed. Each day, as many as 250 trucks ferry garbage from Kathmandu Valley to landfill sites in Sistol and Bonsare Dara. The Supreme Court has issued an order to present those accused, including Secretary at the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, Krishna Bahadur Rao, to present to the court today. The Apex Court's order applies to all the accused who had filed the habeas corpus writ. A joint bench of Justices Shushma Lata Mathema and Til Prasad Shrestha issued the order. Among the 17 arrested, 4 individuals had filed the habeas corpus writ at the Supreme Court. The government has made it mandatory to label imported ready-made goods from July 17, that is today, to prevent fake goods from being sold and distributed in the local market. The Customs Department aims to make packaging transparent and prohibit buying and selling of ready-made products without labeling. If found to be selling or distributing these products without labeling, one will face legal consequences under the Consumer Protection Act 2075. The economic bill also mandates labeling for all imported goods, replacing the previous requirement for food and medicines. And let's take a look into a short break here. More news follows up next. Do stay with us. Welcome back to NTV News. We take a look into other updates. The government is set to implement the a la carte service, allowing viewers to pay only for the television channels they watch. If foreign channels are not included in the system, broadcasting will be stopped. Consumers can only view these channels by paying the subscription cost. The Ministry of Communication and Information Technology established the prices for service providers to charge the consumers accordingly. The system will be fully implemented starting today with a letter addressed to all Nepali and international television channel operators. The minimum monthly fee for basic package is 250 rupees, with a maximum fee for bouquet channels set at rupees 40 including tax. For paid channels, a restriction of 250 rupees per month, tax included, applies. The specific card price system will be used to make fees collected from consumers visible, organized and scientific. The Meteorological Forecasting Division has predicted chances of more monsoon-related rainfall today and tomorrow. For the last few days, it has been raining continuously from most part of the country. According to Division, along with the influence monsoon wind, the low-pressure line of monsoon has moved towards the south, leading to intermittent rainfall to prevail across the country. Due to this, many places along the country are witnessing partial to normal changes in weather pattern along with more rainfall. There is a possibility of light to moderate rain in few places of Madhya province and some places on the rest of the provinces. The Shiva shrines across the country are seeing wide number of Hindu devotees making their way to worship Lord Shiva on the auspicious Monday of the month of Shravan. Shravan is considered auspicious month for the Hindus, which is dedicated to deity Lord Shiva. From today onwards, every Monday of the whole month, devotees will practice fasting, worshipping Lord Shiva. After about 19 years, the month of Shravan is being celebrated for 2 months this year, and the main reason for this is Malamas, which is formerly known as Adhik Mas, and it is a 3-year extra month that falls between the months of February and October. Today is the second Monday of Shravan as per the Vedic timekeeping calendar. Various temples of Lord Shiva will witness large crowd of devotees today. And let's take a look into yet another break. Stay with us for more update. Welcome back to our international updates. Scorching weather gripped 3 continents, whipping up wildfires and threatening to topple temperature records as the dire consequences of global warming take shape. Predictions of historic heat hung over swaths of Asia, Europe and the United States. In the Vatican, 15,000 people braved sweltering temperatures to hear Pope Francis lead prayer, using parasols and fans to keep cool. In Japan, authorities issued heat stroke alerts to tens of millions of people in 20 of its 47 prefectures as near record high temperatures scorched large areas and torrential rain pummeled another regions. The U.S. National Weather Service warned a widespread and oppressive heat wave in southern and western states and was expected to peak with more than 80 million people affected by excessive heat warnings or heat advisories on Sunday. California's Death Valley, often among the hottest places on Earth, is also likely to register new peaks, with the mercury possibly surpassing 54 degrees Celsius. Tropical storm Talim strengthened into a typhoon early on Monday and is set to be the first this year to make landfall in China, the national weather forecaster there said. While the authorities cancelled flights and urged residents to stay at home, China Meteorological Administration issued an orange alert, saying the typhoon was expected to increase in intensity to become a severe typhoon by the time it makes landfall at night along the southern coast from Guangdong to Henan. China has a 4-tier color-coded weather warning system, under which orange is the second highest alert. Talim is set to be the 4th typhoon this year, but the first to make landfall in China, according to weather predictions. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol on Monday blamed authorities' failure to follow disaster response rules as the death toll from days of torrential rain grew to 39, including a dozen people found dead in a submerged underpass. The rains have pummeled the country's central and southern regions since Thursday as the rainy season that started in late June reaches its peak. The Interior Ministry has also reported 9 people missing and 34 injured across the nation. 12 deaths, including 3 bodies retrieved overnight, occurred in a tunnel in the central city of Cheongju, where 16 vehicles, including a bus, were swamped by a flash flood on Saturday after a river leaf collapsed. 9 others were hurt. Floods have claimed dozens of lives during recent rainy seasons as weather patterns have become more extreme in South Korea. A quick look into the highlights of what's coming up next. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said Russia had a sufficient stockpile of cluster bombs and reserved the right to use them if such munitions, the use of which he said he regarded as a crime, were deployed against Russian forces in Ukraine. Ukraine said on Thursday it had received a cluster bombs from the United States, its biggest military backer, which says the munitions are needed to compensate for shell shortages faced by Kyiv's forces at a time when they are mounting a counter-offensive. Cluster munitions are banned in more than 100 countries because they typically release large number of smaller bomblets that can kill indiscriminately over a wide area. Some of them inevitably fail to explode and can pose a danger for decades, particularly to children. Kyiv has said it will use cluster bombs to dislodge concentrations of enemy soldiers, what it said when trying to take back its own territory, but will not use them on Russian territory. Time now for sports update. Nepal is taking on India A in its second match of the ACC Emerging Teams Asia Cup underway in Sri Lanka today. The match, to be held at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo, will begin at 2:15 p.m. NST. Nepal, that suffered 4-wicket loss against Pakistan A in its first match, is looking for its first win in the tournament. India, that defeated UAE A in its first outing, will confirm its spot in the last four if it emerges victorious today. Nepal is in Group B of the 8-team tournament alongside India A, the UAE A and Pakistan A. India A is on the top of the Group B based on better run rate with 2 points, while Pakistan A with equal 2 points is in the second place and Nepal is in the third. Nepal will next play its last group match against the United Arab Emirates on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Pakistan A is batting against UAE A in the first match of the day underway at P. Sarvanamuttu International Cricket Stadium. And that was a wrap-up from the sports front. We take a look into the headlines as a reminder of the top stories. Locals of Sistol and Boncharedara hold garbage collection of Kathmandu. Dozens of garbage-laden trucks stranded along the Nuwakot-Dhading border. Provision of mandatory labelling of ready-made imported goods effective from today. Rule aims to curb the sales of counterfeit items. Swords of Asia, Europe and the United States reel under heat wave. Tens of millions battling dangerously high temperatures. And Nepal taking on India A in its second match of the ACC Emerging Teams Asia Cup underway in Sri Lanka. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead. Namaste.